The anime opens with a girl staring at a boy who is walking away in a bus park, but she doesn't have the courage to walk up to him and begin a discussion. Next we see the same boy in another scene. He's about to engage in a brawl with the Descartes gang. They refer to him as the Mad Dog Sawamura, who possesses the demon right hand. Saji Sawamura beats up the whole gang without breaking a sweat and rescues his younger colleague who was kidnapped by the gang. Later on we see the delinquent asking out a girl. However, she turns him down, stating that there is already someone she likes. It is soon revealed that Sawamura has never had a girlfriend and he's been rejected by 20 ladies since he started searching. This guy might be cursed. How could anyone have such a horrible record? On his way home, a little girl mocks him about his lack of success with women and asks to be his girlfriend, but he firmly refuses her request. Now in his house, he's thinking about his life seriously and begins to hear a female voice. Soon he realizes that there's a girl on his hands. His right hand has magically transformed into a girl. This girl is excited to see him, and reveals that she has had a crush on him for a long time. Sawamura is worried about how he's going to fight with his hand now like this. They discuss and try to find ways to adjust their lives to their new realities. They decide to go to her house as they might find the cause and the solution to this situation, but on getting there, Sawamura is not allowed to enter. He's later tricked by some ladies not trying to seduce him, and they attack him, including Midori, his right hand in the process. The girls on their partners, the Descartes gang he beat up earlier in the episode. Midori wakes up and assigns the cook breakfast. As the right hand, she drags Sawamura everywhere around the house as she makes a mess while trying to cook. On his way to school, the little girl hitting on him. She already sees him hiding his hand and teases him about it. He later decides to tie a bandage around the hand to prevent people at school from seeing Midori. While in school, some delinquents from another school come to look for Sawamura. A girl named Ia stands up to them and they begin to take her away while other students watch. Doing nothing, Mad Dog Sawamura tries to avoid the scene because of his right hand. He finally decides to help and stop them from taking Asiya away. Without his right hand, he defeats them but sustains some damage. Later in the day, Sawamura's friend is kidnapped by these delinquents, and when he goes to save him, he allows himself to be beaten by the gang, telling his friend that he doesn't want others from their school to be dragged into the issue, so he had to allow the delinquents to beat him up. He heads to Midori's house again, and this time he's allowed to enter. However, an incident happens that portrays him as a pervert and he's chased away from the house. His highly energetic sister Orin comes home and soon she notices Midori in his hand and takes a liking to her. Orin goes out on a trip with the gang she formed in high school and decides to use Sawamura allowance to finance the trip, even taking Sawamura on the trip. While they're having fun in the location, Orin exposes Sawamura's right hand to her gang members and they begin to play with Midori. Thinking she's a doll, it gets too uncomfortable and Sawamura lashes out, leading to a free-for-all fight among the gang members. Orin is having a discussion with Midori and telling her how she always saves Sawamura from bullies when they were younger. After the trip, Orin and her gang run away, leaving someone more to handle the bills with his allowance. Sawamura and Midori decided to buy ice cream. She gets her favorite chocolate banana flavor, which now looks so big due to her reduced size. An error from Sawamura ensures that she's covered by the ice cream, so it ruins her dress, and he decides to go to a doll store to get her a new dress. On getting to the store, she begins to test some outfits like a wedding gown and the nurse's uniform instead of just getting regular clothes. Sawamura soon sees that the doll clothes are very expensive. Then he's accosted by Takami Izawa, a classmate that is so surprised to see Mad Dog Sawamura in a doll store. Takami Izawa is totally obsessed with dolls. Takami Izawa catches a glimpse of Midori, causing Sawamura to knock him out. Back at school, Lie suddenly becomes more kind to Sawamura. Takami Izawa requests to see Midori. believing that she's a puppet, and he's blown away by her closeness to reality. Takami Izawa sends a gift of clothing to Midori, hoping to get to see more of her that way, but it doesn't work out till he decides to stalk Sawamura. He finally finds out that Midori is not a maid doll, that she doesn't have a serial number, blackmailing Sawamura with the secret, forcing him to allow Midori to model for Takami Izawa. Takami Izawa later on expresses his feelings for Midori, but she claims to be in love with Sawamura. What follows next is Takami Izawa pastoring to model some doll underwear. This enrages Sawamura as he knocks the boy unconscious again. In school, Sawamura gets in trouble with the sports teacher. Back at home, he drinks his sister's liquor and gets intoxicated, falling into a deep sleep. Midori then has to do everything in the house by herself, even engaging a pizza delivery man and an agent in weird interactions. Due to her overworking herself, she wakes up ill the next day. Sawamura has to forego school to take care of her, but her temperature keeps rising. He tries taking her to the hospital. She refuses, reminding him that their current situation will cause problems for him if it were to be discovered. Ace learns that Sawamura is sick and decides to use this opportunity to visit him. She doesn't know the exact house, but she sees little Shirori, who asks her why she wants to visit Sawamura. Ace lies that she just wants to give him some schoolwork, so she already takes the handout and runs away, saying she'll give them to Sawamura herself. Back at school, the sport teacher forces him to perform 100 pull-ups with just one hand. When he's about to fail, Midori sacrifices her safety and helps them as his right hand to complete the exercise. Little Shirori refuses to let go of her crush on Sawamura, as she manipulates her parents to put her under Sawamura's care. She gets to spend the whole day with him, however, over and crashes their fun time while at the games. Sawamura's elder sister Oren convinces little Shorty to allow her to be her coach as she tries to win Sawamura's heart. In school the next day, Ace tries to invite Sawamura on a movie date, but Midori quickly intercepts and ensures that doesn't happen. When Sawamura gets home, little Shirori is surprisingly at his house. Under the tutelage of Oren, she dresses in several outfits and accessories to seduce Mad Dog Sawamura, but it all fails as he doesn't have even the slightest interest in her and sees her as just a kid. It's soon revealed that Shirori has been having some issues with her stepmom, and Sawamura helps to solve this issue and return everything to normal. At the end of episode 6, Ace is finally able to invite Sawamura on a movie date, much to the anger of Midori. Ace devises some plans to gain Sawamura's heart, but they all fail as the delinquent, being a true airhead, doesn't catch up to any of her antics. And in the cinema they're watching a horror movie and they all say nearly finds out about Midori. Nevertheless, Sawamura is able to save the day in the final moments. After all her plans fail, Ace refuses to give up, inviting her crush to her house for dinner. While they have to stop at the clothes store first, she begins to try on some swimsuits and reveals them to Sawamura. However, this also fails as it has no effect on him. The next episode begins with the dream. They wake up and Midori has her full body back while Sawamura is now her right hand. Sawamura takes this situation badly, unlike Midori, who is happy to be his right hand. She dresses Sawamura with the embarrassing clothes she made before deciding to go to the store and get him some real clothes. Sawamura, as her right hand, decides to help make breakfast and he messes up everywhere, doing everything wrong. They arrive in the doll cloth store and she dresses him up in several costumes such as superhero costumes and military costumes, much to his annoyance. Sawamura responds a boy taking dirty pictures of Midori, but he's not able to do anything about it as it will blow his cover. Takami Izawa appears and saves the day, reprimanding the pervert and causing a scene in which Midori storms out of the store. Midori then meets a friend from her school who's surprised to see her, considering that she's been away and sick, with everyone worrying about her. In the next scene, it's revealed that both Sawamura and Midori had the same dream, where he became her right hand. Takamiyazawa's obsession with Midori begins to grow again. And he starts to stalk Sawamura, who catches him. Takamiyazawa reveals the reason he's stalking and taking pictures of Midori is because he created a page for her online, where he posts her pictures. Sawamura is angry about this, however Midori is surprisingly happy with it, seeing the pictures are beautiful and the page has become very popular, gaining over 500,000 likes. Sawamura threatens Takamiyazawa to take down the page. He agrees on one condition, that Sawamura will follow him to a Comic-Con event. When they get there the place is crowded and there are so many dolls to Sawamura's annoyance. Takamiyazawa makes some doll merchandise of Midori which quickly sell out, causing people to want to buy the real Midori, unknown to them that she's Sawamura's right hand. Soon it turns into an auction with everyone bidding for Midori. Then a popular TV actor enters and makes an outrageous bid, to which Sawamura rejects, stating how important and valuable Midori is to him. The crowd erupts in a frenzy as they're all impressed with Sawamura's devotion to his doll and they decide to take a picture with him. Tagging him a real doll lover, Takamiyazawa recruits Sawamura to help him make a girl fall in love with him, but Sawamura decides to do the opposite, as he wants to save the girl from his perverted friend. He dresses Takamiyazawa in a thug outfit, deceiving him that'll make him more manly to the girl. However, the plan backfires and the girl turns out to really like the thug outfit. All the other plans from Sawamura also backfire, drawing the girl closer to Takamiyazawa until a point where the girl gets violent and beats up Sawamura, effectively chasing away Takamiyazawa as he became scared of her. In the next scene, Sawamura and some other friends are on a date in a restaurant. They decided to play a game and Sawamura and Mayase chosen. The game involves both of them eating a candy from both ends which will ultimately end in the kiss. Mayase is shy but builds up courage while Sawamura is hyped for what is supposed to be his first kiss, but Midori as his right hand isn't having it. She wouldn't allow other girls to kiss him, so she keeps dragging him back from the candy until he also gets frustrated and gives him one of those anime knockout punches. When Sawamura is going home, he realizes someone is watching him. It turns out to be Kota, a childhood friend of Midori. Kota finally gets the confidence to talk to Mad Dog Sawamura and tells him about Midori and her crush on him and how he feels that Sawamura might be able to wake her real body up. He wants Sawamura to go to Midori's house and see her, but due to what happened last time, Sawamura refuses. Chasey Sawamura is having a difficult time studying for his math test. He remembers that Midori turns an elite school and tries to trick her into writing his test for him. He initiates a rock-paper-scissors game where the loser has to do whatever the winner wants, but he ends up losing all 3 games to Midori. As the winner of the game, she wants him to tell her that he loves her. Sawamura tries hard to say it, but after numerous trials he's not able to say these words. With Midori's parents worried about her, they get so many spiritual men, even though a lot looks shady to try to come and wake her sleeping body up, but all fails as nothing works. One even states that her soul has left her body and that will come back when she wants to come back. While on his way to school, Sawamura bumps into Mayase, who has devised another plan to make him fall for her. She gives him a notebook cladded with the love emoji. She has simplified the math so it'll be easy for him to study for the test with this book. Kota goes to Sawamura's school to try to convince him to visit Midori's house, but when he gets there he's kidnapped by some thugs that are looking for Sawamura. Midori and Sawamura go to a restaurant filled with couples and then one of Sawamura's friends finds him there and tells him that Kota has been kidnapped by the punks. Sawamura is not able to beat them all up without his right hand. Suddenly Midori picks up a weapon from the floor and joins him in the fight. They make a good team and rescue Kota. Kota finally finds out that Midori has become her crush's right hand. He advises them to reveal the situation to Midori's mom as she might have a solution, but they both refuse. Midori's making a hand-knitted muffler for herself and Sawamura, and their discussions make her realize that in this situation Sawamura will always see her as a right hand, not a girlfriend. And the next scene we also see that Ace has also been making a muffler for Sawamura despite the unrequited love. At night Midori begins to reflect on her life and decisions so far, wondering if she was the cause of their predicament. Sawamura wakes up the next morning and realizes that his right hand has become normal again, with Midori nowhere to be found. Back in Midori's house, one of the maids is cleaning her unconscious body and she suddenly begins to react and opens her eyes. She's finally back to her body. In the next scene we see Ace finally confessed her love to Sawamura, but he politely declines. Kota heads to Midori's house, the visitor, as she's now awoken in her own body. He finds out that Midori does not remember anything that happened while she was unconscious. She says that while unconscious she had a feeling of warmth around her chest, but now she feels lonely. She's finally back to her reality. Kota decides not to tell her about her time as Sawamura's right hand, as she might desire to go back there. Back in Sawamura's house, his big sister Orin is back again, and she scolds him for not going to check on Midori in her house. Mad Dog Sawamura finally decides to go. However, when he gets to the gate and he loses his confidence, and just then Kota appears. Sawamura wants Kota to give Midori her diary, but he refuses, telling Sawamura to go in and see her by himself. Just then, Midori comes out of the house and sees Sawamura walking away. She later decides to go after him. She looks for him around town, and when they finally see each other she declares her love for him and they become a couple, marking the start of their love story. And that's the end of the video. As always, if